Bouncers. An obsession and a ploy for Shardul Thakur. Even though he isn't as pacey as before, Thakur doesn't let go of his obsession because he knows he has the ability to direct his bouncers when in rhythm. 6 years ago, a light bulb went off in someone's head in the Mumbai Cricket Association and they got in Jeff Thomson, the legendary Australian pacer whose idea of preparing for a cricket series during his career was to chase down pigs. The humid October sun was roasting him through his sun hat, but the man who didn't bowl your little outswingers was in a conversation with Shardul Thakur. Later, as he sauntered beyond the boundary, Thommo would say he had spoken about the need for aggression in line, length, pace, demeanour and body language to all the Mumbai pacers. This kid, they tell me, likes to bowl bouncers, and the gaze of the man infamous for crash-landing batsmen in hospitals was focused at Thakur. They were right. There have been Indian bowlers who have used bouncers effectively as a wicket-taking weapon, but Thakur is a rarity. He loves to get it to snarl at the batsman's head. It would be hard to find a Ranji batsman whose head hasn't been under threat from him. At times, he couldn't drop the bouncer addiction and would suffuse a spell with so many bouncers that one would lose count. Luckily, the broadcasters kept count in the Brisbane Test match. A whopping 84% of Thakur's deliveries in the final session of the fourth day were pretty short in length. And this when he is visibly slower after a slew of injuries threatened to waylay his career. At one point, a couple of Indian players including Rishabh Pant seemingly intervened to tell him to go easy at Pat Cummins. On air on Sonalive, Mohammed Kaif asked the producers to replay the visuals so that he could lip-read Thakur. He is telling Pant, "Naheen, I will bounce him," and reminded us that Cummins had bowled a few at Thakur. For a man who doesn't even need a reason to bounce at batsmen, the payback urge would have been impossible to resist. On the second day too, after lunch, he had tried them but ended up spraying them with width, and when he went in for tea, it's learnt that the pacer got a gentle spray from the think tank. It hasn't deterred him in the past, and on evidence of what we saw on the fourth day, it is unlikely to do so in the future. Lack of height and advantage. Even though he isn't as pacey as before, Thakur doesn't let go of his obsession because he knows he has the ability to direct his bouncers when in rhythm. His height is an important ally. He is relatively short, and unlike taller bowlers, he can bang it in his half and still get it to rear at batsman's head. A luxury that taller bowlers don't have. The easiest thing for a bowler gunning for a bouncer is to hurl it into the middle of the pitch. Bang it in. Fling it down, without worrying excessively about where they are landing it. But when taller bowlers do it, the bouncer can fly over the batsman's head. They have to tweak their release point to target an area slightly fuller, and unnatural to an extent, to get the ball to stay under batsman's head. Zaheer Khan said as much when he mentioned Thakur's short height as the secret behind the efficacy of the bouncers in a tea time studio chat on Sonalive. Thakur still has to direct it properly, have enough pace behind it, have a feel for it, of course, but his height does help.